everyone, it's Jazz. It's the West Ham Minds channel. Things are about to get a little bit crazy, everyone. But before we get into it, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope after last night's news that slowly and eventually broke on the West Ham sort of website that we've finally got our striker in, that if you went into work this morning or whatever you did, you had that extra spring in your step, extra bit of proud and happiness to be a West Ham fan. And I think the footballing world, the Premier League, we're kind of standing up and having a look and seeing, well, we've signed one of Europe's top strikers, really. So again, I hope everyone's well. But this show, as you can see by the headlines, West Ham, and I was going to do a show about signing one player, which I felt was getting quite interesting, getting quite close. And then within the last hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, a second player's been linked, a third player's been linked, and these stories are again being circulated by renowned, reliable sources. And it's getting interesting, everyone. It's getting interesting, and don't forget, before we get into this, that up till last night, I think we've spent 80 million, I think I was saying, wasn't I? 30 million on Scamacca, 30 on Agar, that's 60, and then 10 each for Downs and Areola. And that'll be good in a West Ham window, doesn't it? But there's no signs of this spending spree. Sullivan, the spending spree, is not kind of stopping. It's going ahead. And I know that David Moyes last night wanted to thank David Sullivan and Rob Newman as well, wanted to thank Sullivan for going ahead and sealing the deal on the player that they had sort of comfort in, and kind of really wanted him over the line. To Sullivan, we've got to say, you're surprising us, mate. I hope you're feeling well. I hope there's nothing wrong with you. I hope the bank manager's not giving you a call and said, Sullivan, I'm going to have to stop that electronic payment because there's not many payments that leave the account. You know, you get that kind of thing when you're shopping sometimes. So let's get into it straight away. And come on, chat's a bit quiet. Come on, get in the chat. Let me know what you're doing and all those kind of things. It was going ballistic last night. Again, thank you for your support. But anyway, let's get into this. There's lots to discuss, everyone. Lots and lots of stories out there. So what I want to do, first of all, is obviously let's have a look at all the rumours and see what's kind of happening out there. Because it's kind of changing minute by minute, hour by hour. It's kind of changing what's going on. Here we go. Right, Maxwell Cornet. He's a player that oh, Frankie's on it. Frankie, there's not one story, mate. There's three stories. I can't keep up with it. It's too exciting at the moment, mate. It's too exciting, mate. No, we'll go through it. There's reliable sources and things going on, mate. Right, Maxwell Cornet, and let's restart off with him then. Right, Maxwell Cornet, Burnley, release clause of £17.5 million, so should be reasonable, easy deal to do. Having looked at this story, everyone, it seems to be, yep, I was talking about Diaz, and he is on our list, but I think if this boy comes in, then I don't think Diaz is coming in. It's either Diaz and Cornet. And I prefer Cornet. I think the more I'm looking at this player now, let's start off by looking at kind of who he is, what he's about, and more important than that, where does he play? Because we're going to look at our famous lineup at the end and see how these three signings are going to be fitted in. And it all makes sense to me why we're going for these three players. So Cornet, he's from the Ivory Coast, is he? No, actually, he's got France. I thought he's from the Ivory Coast. So, and look at that position, left winger and up front, same as Diaz. So left wing and up front, he fits the criteria. He's 25, largely played in that up front role and on the wing. So if you have a look at one of the last games that Burnley played, you can see Cornet largely playing up front, but he can play on the left wing as well. And then we'll talk about our lineup and how he fits into that after we've gone through all the players, really. So Cornet, 17.5 million release clause. West Ham are pushing to do a quick deal, according to a couple of journalists, really. Scamacca mentioning how happy he's to join and things like that. Again, West Ham have made a move for Maxwell Cornet. So Cornet, for me, I can't put any footage up because I'll probably get done because it's Premier League, isn't it? But Cornet is a very tidy player. He's 25 years old, and he plays in that left wing slash up front position, which kind of serves what Diaz is going to do, remember. And when I show you this lineup with these two players, there's one or two players, surprisingly, that looks like they're not going to be in there. But we'll go into that a bit later on. And before we carry on, let's have a look at the chat, see what's going on. I don't know what's going on, mate. I know that we made reasonable money in Europa. I know we didn't spend any money in January, and I know we got rid of 11 players. And a lot of those, like Yarmolenko, means that we were able to kind of improve the cash flow and get people in over the line, really. And it just shows you how much money a lot of these players are on. Fredericks, Yarmolenko, and I think Vlasic, hopefully we get him out the door. So 11 players, mate, that is a lot, more than probably any other club, isn't it? I think that's cleared some of the deadwood out. And that's combined with Rice, Bowen, Rice more, and the Noble before that, and kind of David Moyes being very upset with not getting deals over the line that he felt his management performances in the team deserved. I think it's all these things mixed in together, and a little bit about what our neighbours are doing, what Arsenal are doing, what Tottenham are doing. Newcastle are putting pressure on us. You know that they're coming in for a lot of the players we want. Villa will be there or thereabouts. So it's a combination of all those things, mate. Combination of all those. So let's have a look at the chat, see what's going on. It's going ballistic again. You guys show me so much love. It's incredible, mate. Incredible. Oh, how you doing, mate? You're right, mate. I see you from Burnley. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Let me know how things are going to be going for your club next year. I think Tarkowski's gone, isn't he? Yeah, let me know, Owen, what you think about him. But and let me know, Owen, how many times he played on the left wing, because it looks like he was used as a striker, a second striker. But his description on 3-4 websites I've been on, and the way he plays, sometimes he can play on the left wing, which again, David Moyes likes players who can play in different formations, everyone. And as we all discussed, the left side at West Ham needs fixing, doesn't it, everyone? Needs fixing. Mix, good in there, Mick, getting in there with Owen a little bit. but for a foreigner, right, who comes in abroad with respect, David Moyes' broad Glaswegian accent's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it, for anyone, isn't it? So there's a footage, I don't know, I was watching just before I went live about I think it's Skamaka talking to David Moyes, and then Oggy's there, isn't he? And Oggy's translating what David Moyes is telling you. It's quite funny. Yeah, I'm going to go into that. Glenn. Why I think could be a risk, but why I think Kostic is going to play there. But like I mentioned before, he's going to be a little bit up front on that one. So let's have a look. Sorry about that, just having a look at something. So he's a left wing back, and left wing back meant to normally have a chemistry of both sides of the game. They got the engine, the stamina, the assist, a bit like Trevor Sinclair, do you remember? I know there's not many of them, but Trevor used to play that role brilliantly, got him into the England team, as you remember. You've got to have half and half attacking engine, and you've got to have that little bit defensive game, which, to be fair, I don't think Kostic has got that much. He's 29, but I think it's the risk that David Moyes is going to take, because when you go back to that formation, he's going to look for a good CDM to cover him at times, two fast centre-backs and cover in again, and Rice, we know, gets all over the pitch. It's a bit of a risk sometimes, and that's the area where we might show a bit of that, mate, yeah. Because we got proper left-backs who are not really good going forward, mate, don't really cross it much, so I agree with David Moyes. Let's go for the more attacking option, mate, yeah. Is he not that good then, Epic? I think he's been here a number of years, hasn't he, Ben Rama? I don't think I've actually seen any interview of his. That's interesting, mate. Okay, so that was that. Let me go into the next thing for you now. Let me close these windows down. Let me close that one down. So the next one, ladies and gentlemen, is Piotr Zielinski. 28 years old. He only became 20 in May, so he's not 29 till next May before anyone gets worried. Attacking midfielder. I will show you where he plays for Napoli in a minute. Regular international. Fabianski has been instrumental, I've been told, to get this boy in. He's raved about him to David Moyes. 72 caps, 9 goals. 72 caps for Poland, ladies and gentlemen, isn't something to be turned our noses at. Poland are a very decent national outfit, usually in the main competitions. So that's kind of good. Obviously, he connects well with Lewandowski, who's a world-class player, as we know. So he's an attacking midfielder. It doesn't say left or right, and I'll talk about it in the middle. He's more kind of central. And this is where, when I show you the formation later on, he's going to take someone's place who we didn't think was going to be dropped. So we'll go into that a bit more. And Napoli, as we know, are a very, very tidy team. He joined Napoli 2016 from Udinese, 16 million euros, and he was Empoli before that. So a lot of his football since 2011, well, since 2014, has been kind of in Italy largely. Let's have a look at his stats in terms of assists and goals. Let's have a look at that. Let's look at all the seasons. There we go. So last year, Napoli again, Champions League team, 35 games, 6 goals, 5 assists. That's kind of okay, isn't it? Let me know in the chat what you think about that. 6 goals, 5 assists. I know perhaps Benrahma's figures are there or thereabouts, but this boy's done it a lot in the Champions League. You know, Europa, 2 goals in 7, and the season before that, he done even better. So the season before that, Napoli, he got 8 goals instead of 6, 11 assists instead of 5. That's incredible. And again, regularly in Europa League, Champions League, 7 games, 1 assist. So didn't quite score. So I think the pedigree's there, everyone. And we're kind of doing a bit of Harry Redknapp with these deals, unlike the ones we've done so far. We're buying the ready-made article, who perhaps won't have a resale value. But I think there's a good mix of deals happening. We're risking it a little bit with some youngsters like Agard and kind of Scamacca and Downs. And then we're kind of using our money cleverly to get Areola in without breaking the bank. And now we're going through the finished article, but they're not that old. They're in their late 20s, and they're some kind of reasonable pedigree going on with them. They're from reasonable, strong leagues. They're kind of regulars for their countries, and obviously in kind of positions that we really need, really. So I kind of like what I've seen from him. Let's go and see where he normally plays. So I'm going to bring up 2 games from last season. This game was towards, again, the end of last season. Napoli were in a good run where they won a number of games back then. And as you can see there on the screen, Zielinski is playing in a 4-2-3-1 system, right? So all these players, even Scamacca, everyone I forgot to mention, he's very much used to being the only striker up front in a 4-2-3-1 system. So Moyes has done his homework with Rob Newman. It's kind of good work from both of them. Rob Newman's getting the pat on the back now in the press, and I like that because I hate politics. I didn't want to get those stories out where, is it Sullivan signing? Is Moyes fed up? They didn't get his number 1. It looks like they're working collectively quite well in this window. And I think perhaps at the beginning they didn't, but the warning, I think David must have gone ballistic and they kind of, reacted, instead of proactively working from January together. But now it looks like they're all going in the right direction. I kept saying for West Ham as a club to go forward, for any club, you've got to move in the same direction from everywhere. The board members, the coaching staff, the players, the manager, the scout, everyone has got to be on the same page. Otherwise, you're going to get cracks. You're going to see players like Vlasic come through and 1 or 2 other things. So he plays in the middle, everyone. So that kind of suits formation-wise. There shouldn't be any issue with him settling in. This is from the Champions League, no, AC Milan. But I did see the Liverpool one he played in. But this is a big game, and again, he's played in the middle. So he plays in a 4-2-3-1, and he plays in that role. So before I carry on, let me see if there's anything going on in the chat. Let's have a look. Glenn's in there. Yeah, I'll show you. He won't be in that typical left back. He'll be pushed a lot forward like Arnold and Robertson and 1 or 2 other players. So it won't be a flat back 4, I don't think. I think he will, when the game kicks off and most of the game, you will see him much more further up that wing. It is risky, but it's really understanding that Rice or that CDM and the 2 centre-halves are quick enough, good enough, wise enough to cover if need be. But we do need that full-back, wing-back width, mate, don't we, Glenn? We need that extra avenue to score and look more dynamic, mate. So that's kind of him on there. And then what I want to do is, before we carry on, let's have a look at the stories that have been coming in, because this one, I didn't think this one was a goer, mate. This one, I didn't think this was going to go ahead. Offering £96,000 a week, boost salary, have just submitted a 25 million official bid's gone in for him. So obviously, only reason we do shows when I think something's going to happen. A bid's gone in. They want this one in. Cornet suddenly out of the blue, they want that deal in because clubs are circulating Cornet. I think Forest, notably, I think looking at him because he's not that expensive, depending on kind of what teams are spending at the moment. So yes, I think there was mixed reports coming out. This one report said that the offer's been accepted, terms got to be done, and the other report said terms been accepted, offers got to be done. So a little bit they're running in different directions, but obviously good news on both different stories. And so I think give it a couple of hours, and certainly I think the urgency is there. We're not hanging around till the last day to pick up a bargain. We're not. I think David has said pre-seasons look bloody average. I want my boys in ASAP, and then we're ready to hit the ground running in the first game. We literally got a fortnight left. Skamaka's gone in, thank God for that, and we're looking to tie this boy Cornet and the other one I'm going to talk about. I think that's what we're all kind of hoping that'll happen, really. So let me have a look at that. Obviously, the other one, the Kostic one, there were rumours that he came yesterday in that taxi, everyone, but that is not true. That's not true. He wasn't in that same sort of plane and things like that. He didn't come down. He was seen training with Eintracht Frankfurt today. But again, there's hope, especially with that agent making so much money last night from us. There's a bit of a goodwill nature in there somewhere. And that's why I'm really confident that one or two of these boys can come in, I think. So Kostic, again, 17, 18 million. I don't think it's going to be that much expensive, but it's still a lot of money for West Ham. If they get these 3 deals done, you're looking at, what, 110, 120, something like that, or even more. Then again, you're thinking, is Souček out the door? Onana, what's going to happen to him? So still a lot of things, but it's exciting for West Ham. Let it carry on. Has perhaps Kotensky, has he said something to Sullivan to say, I'll fund most of these to help you because, a lot of the debt's been paid off in the last 40 million installment? I don't know. But obviously it's good that we don't know much. It's all kept to the chest. That means the other teams don't know how much money West Ham have got either. Sharky's on it. Sharky, how you doing, mate? Listen, I'm so busy, mate. So busy. And I'm going to bring your favourite thing up in a minute, mate. The favourite thing, our little billboard in a minute. Let's have a look at that and see how everyone's going to fit in. Jamie, well, let's talk about it, mate. Let's talk about it, Jamie. So let's start off with this. And this is how we could line up. Obviously, I think Fabianski will start in goal, but just for the show, I'll put Areola in for now, just because that's what I want. So Agard, again, Zuma kept saying they'll stay a little bit back because they're full of pace, good on the ball, and kind of much more mobile than some of the fullbacks we've had. Kostic for me. So when you look at the formation, it might look like 4-2-3-1 when BT start their shows, but when you see the game carry on and it kicks off and the pundits have a look at how the players are moving in what direction, where are they standing, I think this is what you're going to see. You're going to see Kostic, okay, on paper left back, but he's going to be like a left wing back, so he's going to be pushing up, and Kufal, and I was saying these 4 are going to be key. That's why David Moyes is pushing for Onana, a man of his stature who can cover ground, and he's more of your technically CDM than Souček is, really. So Onana's not there to score or things like that. He's there to just sit down like a general, cover ground, a bit like Basuma, Kante, those kind of players that we need, really. And I know Rice can do it as well, but Rice is so good, we're going to be able to use him up front and at the back as well, because he wants that goals and assists to his game, even though he does so much. He does more than enough for me anyway. So you're going to see Onana sitting there like Godfather, with a pistol in his hand, checking it, making sure when Kostic and Kofal make those great runs that we've been missing for many years, that these 4 can cover the ground. So for me, it's still 4-2-3-1, but Onana's sitting a bit deep, keeping an eye on these 2 moving, and then obviously, hopefully, these 2 can cover any long balls over the heads, really. And this is a change up front, everyone. There's no Antonio. There's no Ben Rama. There's no Fornells. They're on the bench. So isn't this what we always wanted? Let me know in the chat. Isn't this what we always wanted? So you got Zielinski, and he's sitting in that same position he plays for Napoli. He's very much used to that. Bowen, his favoured right wing cutting in sort of place. Cornet, very used to playing left wing and can cover up front for Scamacca. So I think this signing Cornet or / Diaz is our left winger striker cover, ladies and gentlemen. And let me know if you're happy with that. The only thing for Cornet, not sure if he can play up front by himself, unlike perhaps Diaz can. That's the only thing. But I suppose I don't want to say it, but if anything happens, then again, we're going to be hoping for Antonio to cover up front with Cornet on the left wing. Because Cornet, to me, physically doesn't look that kind of player. Not if Cornet comes in or Diaz, mate. I don't. Could be right. I don't think so. I think Fornals does offer something, but I think David Moyes has realised to compete with the top six, you need a bit more. I mean, Souček is okay. Sometimes a bit more than that, but I don't think that's good enough to get us where we want to go. In this team, again, you can see goals from so many different avenues. You know, you've got Zielinski. Look, Zielinski, Kostic, and Scamacca. You see two of the most skillful players assist, and you got great sort of strikers in there like Bowen, Cornet, Scamacca. I mean, this team you can't argue with Sullivan with this team. That is something, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I can't see a weak point in there. Kufal? Is it Kufal? Is it Kostic's? See, you're always going to have to risk something because, again, we're not Man City. We're not kind of Liverpool. So the risk for me, I'm still unsure about the goalkeeper situation. I have to be fair. I don't know how's that gonna work out. It's going to be the fullbacks, isn't it? Because they're going to be bombing forward. So it might be a case of the old West Ham where you try to outscore the other team. Let me know again, and then you're probably thinking, I mean, don't worry about the team not being physical enough or not being defensive enough if Fornals isn't playing. I think when you look at these four, I don't think you need a defensive guy in there. These players are there to create and score. You got Bowen, Zielinski, Cornet, Scamacca, and then they're helped by Kufal and Kostic. And then you got a nice 4-5 in there defensive, Rice, Anana, Agard, Zuma. I think that's okay. I mean, certainly at home it'll be okay. But then you've got Benrahma, Fornals, Antonio on the bench, one or two others. So again, let me know how you think we're gonna set up. Yeah, listen. Hopefully he'll do it 62 minutes, mate. Isn't it? Yeah, hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Oh my God. Oh mate, I'm drinking some fruit juice here. Cheers to you, Sinek. Hope you're doing well. He's had one half of a pre-season, mate. One half, Glenn. Is that telling you he's gonna start, or he's got confidence in him, or he's gonna bring him up the right way? Just a bit concerned with that. It's not good for anyone. Yes, Mike. You know it, Mike. You know it. Loads of people watching. Get in the chat, everyone. Get in the chat. And again, this is how I think we're gonna line up. But then we've still got to get back to the maths, haven't we? 80 million spent so far. Cornet, 17. What's that? 97 million. Zielinski is another 20, 25. What's that? 120 million. Kostic is another 50. That's 135 million, ladies and gentlemen. Top of my head. And then I don't know if we've got room for any loan deals. Someone's got to go out the door. Is it Duop, isn't it? Is it Duop? Where we get a free or a loan centre back. We get 15, 20 million in for, because David Moyes has said, accept that last bid. It's 15 to 18 million. I think we've got to take it. I'm wishing the best of luck, Duop. So if you get 15, 18 million for Duop, that's 117 million spent on quite a number of players. And then I don't know who else. Vlasic. That'll free up some of the wages, wouldn't it? Souček. Then I don't think there's enough money to sign Anana unless we go for a cheaper CDM. And that position, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. If you're going to sign Kostic and play him as wing back and Kufal, and you know Kufal last season, I don't want to blame anything on him. But the weaknesses in Kofal was not tracking back, but losing his bearing sometimes when going up front. And he did get lost in no man's land sometimes again. Yeah, we'll have a look at that next time, Sharky. I have not looked at that, mate, so far a lot. Shall I have a look at it now, mate? Let me have a look at it now. Let's have a look at our favourite app, isn't it? Let's have a look. Transfers and rumours. Free agents. Andre Belletti, everyone. You lot have been bugging me about Belletti, and you guys are right. But he doesn't fit the West Ham mould. He's too static. He's not... he can't drift left, right, and that kind of thing, Belletti. So that I don't think he's the one for me. I can't pronounce his name. You remember the guy who used to be United? Right winger. Adnan Januj. I can't pronounce it. What is he? No, I'm terrible at pronunciations. Absolutely terrible. So look at that. So that's him. Good age. Sergio Aurier. Well, he was dreadful, wasn't he? Oh my God, I've seen more crazy things happening. I've seen crazy things happening in football, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's a clown, mate. He's crap. But he's in there. He's in there. Luis Suarez. Ooh, 35. One of the best strikers I ever saw in the Premiership. What a player. Yep, you're right, mate. Yeah, Glenn. Big time, mate. Yep, ex-Spud, mate. Ex-Spud. Luis Suarez, ladies and gentlemen. Very good player. But I don't think we want that. Spend that kind of thing on salaries, upset the dressing room. Isco, 30 years old. Attacking midfielder. So he plays in that Zielinski position. Cavani. Costa's still a free agent, is he? No, that bloody thing sailed away now, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have a look at that next time, but you got... Why is Fabregas still up there? Crazy people. Crazy, innit? Let's have a look if there's any more news filtering on Twitter while we've been live. Let's have a quick look. Djokovic fans hijack West Ham Twitter post. Pictures cause confusion. Skamaka on West Ham saying, I know Pedro Obiang because we played together at Zazula. He spoke very, very well. Forgot about Pedro. Very, very nice chap, wasn't he, Obiang? Remember that goal against Spurs? How can we forget that goal? Again, yeah. So all these three signings that we spoke about, it's kind of picking up in the news. It's kind of picking up quite well, really. Let me just shut that one down. Won't be a minute. So let's go through the chat. So yeah, we've spoken about the three players that I think it's getting very, very interesting. Kostic agent is certainly Skamaka's agent, and there's things happening there. It's a position we need. David Moyes is very impressed that he can play one or two positions, whether it's a four in midfield as a left midfielder or a left winger, and help out left wing back as well. Then we've got Cornet, who, as a plus point, has already settled experience in the Premiership, isn't he? And he's not going to cost an arm and a leg. And it's that left side that David is focusing on. And you and me, we all said, didn't we, that is a problem position. We need goals from that area. We need a bit more more dynamic players down there. So he's listening. Got the striker. We've got a nice young CDM for the future. We'll see how he develops. We've got a good centre-back, unfortunately injured, but that's not anyone's fault. We've got a good young goalkeeper. So a lot of the issues are being addressed, aren't they? But we can't do more than what we're doing. And if one or two of these come in, you're looking at 130 million spend and a number of positions filled in. But again, because we're playing catch-up, we do need that January window to perhaps bring one more good player in, isn't it? And again, Rice perhaps leaving in, we don't know. I mean, I'm greedy. I hope these 3-4 players come in, but without Anana coming in and these three coming in, you're looking at 130 million. Anana, they're looking for a lot of money. I mean, have we got 150 million? What about fair play and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. It looks a bit mad, doesn't it? We're all in shock, and we waited so long. We thought something had gone on. So let me know in the chat if you thought last night something wasn't quite correct. So let me know. I mean, we all were a bit nervous, and suddenly, was it about 11 o'clock? The news came through, a bit like First Man on the Moon, wasn't it? It is, but we do need 2, 3 bodies over the lining. You know, the 3 we spoke about do fix a lot of the issues we've got, but then it's up to you guys. Do you want to trust Souček then in that position? Do you trust him to cover when our wing backs are bombing on? I don't. I don't know why. I just don't. I just don't think he's very good at tackling or getting in. I don't know. I just don't see it. Or is Rice going to do that job and Souček's going to be up front? I don't know. But I think something's happened between Souček and Moyes. I don't know. And Benrahma, again, he's not. I think Benny's got to be out. I think Benrahma's got to be out the door. I forgot about him, didn't I? To balance the books, I think, keep an eye on. Dupe's got to go. So I think Dupe, Benrahma, Souček. Benrahma and Dupe, definitely. Souček, you're still depending on Onana, isn't it? So if we can't get that deal done. But then no team's been linked with any of our players, the other two, like Benrahma or Souček. Because you never know. Some people have discussions and they tell them, okay, we'll sell him to you, but we have to buy someone first, and then, you know, like the big clubs do. So that could be it, couldn't it? It is. So we've been going for half an hour. So we talked about the players, the positions they play in, and they do more or less play in the positions that we're buying them for. It's the formation we play in. They're international pedigree, most of them, good age. 1 or 2 obviously are settled in the Premier League, and 2 of them are the finished product nearly, aren't they? Cornet, 25, Zielinski, and 28. So I think hopefully it's all kind of. Oh, Darren's there. How you doing, Darren? You all right, mate? Yeah, we're just talking about the formation and how we think the 3 players are going to fit in. I'll put that up for you again, mate, if you didn't see it. Let me get that up for you. And then let me know what you think, and then we'll close up in about 5 minutes. So I'll put that line up again for you, mate, for your benefit. I like the interaction with you guys. You know, you kind of make it what it's all about, don't you? You make it what it's all about. Yeah, let me go back a minute. You know what I'm like with IT, mate. Bloody hell, mate. That ain't the one I had, was it? Where's the other one gone? I don't know what I've done with it, mate. I don't know what I've done with it. But what I'll do, I'll explain to you what I was roughly on about. But I think the players' names I put down are not showing up. So basically, Darren, what I was saying was that Cornet plays here and Zielinski plays here. So Antonio, Benrahma, Fornals are not in the team, mate. So you've got Zielinski in the middle, the playmaker, but what Benrahma really ideally should be doing. And then you've got Cornet, because Cornet's a left winger / striker. So Cornet's in there, and the rest, hopefully Nana comes in, Kostic comes in, and that's kind of the lineup we're looking at, everyone. That's kind of the lineup we're looking at, really, yeah. Yeah, but we've got to put some money back in the pot, haven't we, mate? We've got to put some money in the pot somehow. Can't spend 130 million not sell anyone, unless that's something I don't know. So one of them has to go, Benrahma. You've got to take a punt and just say he's not going to make it, and then get someone else in, isn't it, mate? Because that's the thing with only 2 windows. If you don't make those challenging decisions, then imagine the season starts, we're playing Spurs, we're playing Arsenal, Benrahma, nothing's happening, he comes off after 60 minutes. Then we're all going to go mad, aren't we? And I'd rather go down another route, you know? I don't know. I'd rather go down the other route, mate. Of course, yeah. So Souček will go if we're confident of getting Onana in. Onana's a bigger beast. And looks quite good there, really. I think so, mate. Yeah, Cornet's a starter. He's in that 4-2-3-1. He plays on the left wing and cuts in striker. So you've got Bowen on the right wing, Diaz there, and kind of Zielinski in the middle, and then Skamaka up front. So it's nearly quite a new attacking force there, mate, with a new centre backs, new CDMs, new left wing back, really. So in that team, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 7 new starters out of the 11. If Areola, Agard, Kostic, Anana, Cornet, Zielinski, Skamaka play, that's 7 players, mate, I think. And then obviously a better bench, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to call it good night or good afternoon or close it or the end. Thanks for watching. So yeah, thanks for watching. You guys have been absolutely mental. And if things get even more mental, then I'll jump on again today. Yeah, I'm there at your service as always to entertain you guys. Doesn't matter what time it is, because these times ain't going to come again. The window don't come again, and it's kind of you go away for 1 hour and you're doing something in your life, and you come back and it's all blown again, isn't it? Really. Got some more comments joining in. Some more people are joining in. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Darren. I was busy doing Skamaka things, mate. Yeah. Right, I'm going to write it down now. Fancy code. So what it is to do that, I've got to do my team roughly, and then I'll set up the league and let you know, mate. I've written it all down now, mate. All written it down. Fancy code. I'll be doing it. I don't know. I don't think any amounts come out, has it? So I don't know what we got, mate. I don't know what we got, but that's a lot to chew on, isn't it, mate? 180 million, Chewbacca. Anyway, I have to go, mate. Got to catch up with some work. Emails are building up. But you guys have a great afternoon. And you never know if something really mad happens or something's bubbling along, getting hot. You know where I am. I'll jump on there and we'll jump in together and we'll try to work out what's going on, isn't it? So take care. Have a great day, and we'll catch up soon. Take care. Come on, you irons.